Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on a 4.4 magnitude earthquake that hit Northern California. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. It says a magnitude 4.4 earthquake struck near Willits in Mendocino County on Tuesday afternoon. The quake was reported at 1:10 p.m. about 5 miles east-southeast of Willits and about 17 miles north of Uke. It says a 4.4 magnitude earthquake struck Mendocino County on Tuesday afternoon, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. It said the quake was reported at 1:10 p.m. about 5 miles east-southeast of Willits and roughly 17 miles north of Uke. The USGS initially reported the earthquake as 4.3 magnitude before updating it to 4.4. Yeah, and California has been getting hit with a lot more earthquakes lately. And it's not just California, because according to this, it says the most earthquake-prone areas are concentrated along tectonic plate boundaries, primarily the Circum-Pacific Belt Ring of Fire around the Pacific Ocean, affecting Japan, Indonesia, Chile, West Coast Americas, and the Alpine Belt from the Mediterranean through the Himalayas to Southeast Asia, including Iran, Turkey, and Pakistan. Other significant zones include the Mid-Atlantic Ridge like Iceland, and fault lines like the San Andreas Fault in California and the Anatolian Fault in Turkey, with high activity also in Central Asia and the East African Rift. It says Circum-Pacific Belt Ring of Fire, the most seismically active zone, accounting for about 90% of the world's earthquakes, including Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, New Zealand, and the Americas Pacific coast. Alpine Belt extends from Java, Sumatra through the Himalayas, Mediterranean, and into the Atlantic, responsible for about 17% of large quakes, e.g. Iran, Turkey, Pakistan, Italy. In the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, a divergent boundary less frequent in populated areas but significant in Iceland. Japan, most recorded, Indonesia, Philippines, China, Iran, Pakistan, Central Asia, the Americas, Chile, Peru, Mexico, USA, California, Alaska, Central America, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, Europe and the Middle East, Turkey, Iceland, Italy, Greece, Iran, Azerbaijan, Nepal, Afghanistan, and Africa, East African Rift Valley, North Africa. Said these areas experience frequent earthquakes because they are located at the boundaries where Earth's tectonic plates interact, either colliding, pulling apart, or sliding past each other, causing stress to build and release as seismic waves. Yeah, and those seismic waves have been increasing. And in some places, those seismic waves are a lot stronger and more destructive than others. But these earthquakes happening are a sign of the Lord visiting this world, because the Lord is the one causing those things to happen. Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake, and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. So all of these earthquakes that are happening throughout the world, the Lord is the one causing them. He's the one causing these seismic waves to happen. And seeing as we're in the last days, these earthquakes are going to get a lot more powerful, a lot more frequent, and a lot more destructive and deadly. Matthew 24:7, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. Salakia. And when you look up the definition of diverse, it means many or multiple. And there's earthquakes happening in many and in multiple places per that overview that I just read about major earthquake zones and key countries and regions. That's why the men of the Lord are constantly saying there is no getting around the validity of these scriptures. People think that the scriptures are a fairy tale book, but the scriptures let you know what's going to be happening. The fires, the storms, the tempests, the earthquakes, the power outages, the wars and the rumors of wars, the diseases, the famines. The Bible speaks on all of it. The civil wars, the race wars, the sedition amongst men, the love of many waxing cold. The Bible speaks on all of this. But because when people go up in these harlot houses, their pastor doesn't go into these scriptures, a lot of people don't even know. The Bible is the most accurate book on the planet. History book. It tells you about the past, the present, and the future. But see, the Lord would have to unlock your would have to open your mind to understand that. He'd have to give you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And majority of people in this world don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's why they don't believe. They don't have faith. They don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And the Lord has not opened their eyes to see it. Second Ezra 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before. Verse 2, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And the highest is referring to the Heavenly Father. That's why he's called the Most High, because there is no one above him. Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and there's plenty of both. There's plenty of earthquakes happening throughout the world, and there's plenty of uproars of the people in the form of protests happening in different countries all over the world. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Verse 6, even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings and effects and signs. And like I said, these protests, the power outages, the earthquakes, the storms, the tempests, the fires, these things are signs of the last days that we're in. These are signs at a time. And see, those of us of the hopeful elect, because the Lord has blessed us with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, we know what these signs mean. That's another reason why those of us of the hopeful elect have to stay on our watch, because the things written in these scriptures are coming to pass. But you wouldn't know that if you're not paying attention. So the more we watch, the more we get to see the very things written in these scriptures that are said to come to pass in the last days actually manifest. See, those of us of the hopeful elect, we 100% believe the things written in these scriptures are accurate. Meanwhile, these simple-minded, wicked people, they're just so carnal. They don't believe, and their lack of belief and their lack of paying attention and their lack of fear is going to ultimately get them destroyed. It's like the scriptures say in Proverbs 22:3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Majority of the people in this world are simple. They don't take anything seriously. They lack fear of the Lord. They're out here constantly doing wickedness. They're constantly provoking the Heavenly Father unto wrath. And they're going to be punished for that. Meanwhile, those of us of the hopeful elect who do fear the Lord and who are locked in to these scriptures and who have been blessed with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, we're hiding ourselves under the Lord's hedge of protection. Because we understand that the Heavenly Father is the one in control. He's the one that makes these things happen. Every fire, every storm, every tempest, every earthquake, every shooting, every stabbing, every judgment that takes place comes from the Heavenly Father. These are not just random occurrences. So those of us of the hopeful elect, we rightfully fear the Lord. And that fear keeps us locked in and keeps us on that straight and narrow path that Adawan Ratazah will lead to our salvation if we endure unto the end. So whenever people tell us that, believing in the scriptures is crazy and that we're crazy, we know better, because we're seeing the things written in the scriptures actually happening. So we know that we're on the right path and we're doing the right thing. And we know that all these wicked people who don't believe and who mock and scoff and scorn, they're going to be destroyed. It's only a matter of time. And some of that destruction will come in the form of earthquakes, bringing it back to the main point of this lesson. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakudash, the water Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Rataza. Till next time, Shalom.